Second part. Rakatin tantun, it's Maji Mueve. All right. The part that I wish to discuss is the fact that my father thought I should be more understanding of people and how they're acting. No, no, I'm not going to be more understanding. Do you know why? Because it is a choice, the type of people we become. We don't just get to be like, oh, that's because they went through slavery. So that's why it's okay for them to be mad. No, no. You know, there are plenty of black people, Latin people, people of color that aren't jumping in on this whole, oh my God, it's the white person's fault, white supremacy. They're not jumping into that. They're like, we live in the best country in the world. I have become what I've become because I'm here. And they're actually the ones also participating in these student council meetings saying, this is not what you're going to teach my son. A lot of people are saying, oh, you white people are the racists. No, literally, there are also black people. That's what I'm saying. How is it not racist telling people how they're supposed to think and believe? And trying to act like you're so woke because, oh, I was a white supremacist. No. You've fallen for the victimization, the bullshitting, okay? Yes, history happened. It doesn't mean we need to start blaming everything on the children of the white people. When I was in Trinidad and Tobago, they loved me there. They wanted to be my friend. And I'm not saying there's all good people in Trinidad and Tobago. There's a lot of bad people there. But where I was, in the event that I was at, they actually treated me better than my own dance team. That I knew that I had to quit my dance team when I came back. Because I was respected and loved and appreciated so much more. And they were literally, what do you call it when they do this in sororities? They were literally hazing me, trying to get me to do crazy shit and all this shit. And it's just like, and I forgave those girls too. And they're not even, whatever, they're Latin. One's Puerto Rican. I think they're both Puerto Rican. Do I hate Puerto Ricans now? No. This is exactly what my point is. Just because something bad has happened to your people, something bad has happened to your generation, to your village. Yes, stand up for your people. Yes, awaken the people. But don't start blaming people that are not to be blamed. Are y'all now going to hate all of Germany and blame all of Germany because of what the Nazis did? You are? Because one of my German friends, she got super offended when she came here and people were like making fun of her and being like, oh, Heil Hitler and all this. And she was like, y'all, you would literally get arrested in my country if you said that. Because we're so against the terrors and horrors that happened. Which, by the way, they kind of lied a little bit about that history, but we're not going to talk about that today because I'm finding out a lot of things where I'm like, holy shit, I've been saying this the whole time and I just found out this today and I just found out this week. Oh my God, and this is the 5th time I've heard this, but I've heard it from all these different people. You know, I don't mind being wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. I think like it kind of surprises people when I literally let people know, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong. And they're just like, you know what's funny that happened the other day, which was yesterday, was both the, basically, one person of my family and another person of my family were trying not to let the white person of the family talk. And I was like, can you let her talk? She can talk. And she actually wanted to talk to criticize me. And I heard her out and I'm like, okay, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. But the thing is, when you know as much as I know, kind of like how a lot of people think they know so much. They're just like, oh, I've lived this life. I've done that. True. But have you been friends with so many people? Have you dated so many people? Have you traveled around the country? Have you traveled around the world? And even me, I still have so much more I would want to travel. But you still may not learn things. It's very good and important for us to continue learning. I love to enjoy life. I'll let myself feel my feelings, right? I'll let myself feel that sadness. And you know what? It's been a jumpy road because here I am in a town that I have never wanted to be in as a child. I'm talking, I was literally telling my parents, if you guys don't get me out of this stupid ass town, I'm going to commit suicide. And I don't think I really meant it. I don't really think I meant it because I wasn't like that sad. I was more just like, this place sucks. Get me the fuck out. And because of me, I was able to relearn the Spanish that I had forgotten. Because of me, I can speak Spanish now because of me. My parents and my grandmother ended up getting together and making it work and sent me to Chile. And I learned about my Chilean culture and I met my Chilean family. And so much has changed because of that decision that who made? Me. At freaking age, what, 13, 14? That was the decision I made at that age. I was like, get me out of here. 5'5". Get me out of here. And I even wanted to stay there. And my father didn't want me to because he's like, go to college. And my aunt said, no, you have to go back to your country so that you can help fix your country. Which to that, I agree with her. You're really right about that. Yeah, you are right about that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm here awakening a lot of y'all. And not in all agreement with all of y'all. Yes, I do agree a little bit. But this part you set off. But I think it's very important that we remember, all of us, enjoy your life. You don't know when your last day alive is going to be. You really don't. You could just be like, oh, I'm doing this week. I'm doing this next week. You have no idea if you're going to survive tonight. You have no idea. Enjoy the best you can. That's why I forgive and let go. Because I don't want to just be sad and depressed about something all the time and let someone who's an evil piece of shit motherfucker, excuse me, it doesn't have to be a motherfucker, it could be a fatherfucker, but an evil piece of shit, pendejo de mierda, making me feel sad for the rest of my life. No, that's where they gain the power. I don't allow that. And there are people like me who are this way as well, where they may have lived in the ghetto, they may have been raped, they may have been human trafficked. They may have been super abused. They may have been abandoned by their parents. And guess what? They still decided to run their own company, trust and believe in God, got married, became good parents. There's still people who've done that. So for us to be making these types of fucking excuses where it's like, oh, but like they had like a really bad life. So I don't give a fuck. Back to my quote. If the same terrible, bad, tragic thing happened to 1,000 people, they would not come out the same. Some are going to stay the victim. Some are going to become the angry ones. And others are going to be like, you know what? I forgive y'all. Doesn't mean what you did was right. I'm going to live the rest of my life because I want to enjoy it. Right? And there you go. But I'm not going to lie, like, there are people in this land that if I ever saw them again, but again, it depends on how I feel there because I might be like, you know what, it's not even worth it. But I'm just like, You know, like after the guy raped me in Miami, I was telling myself like, I know where he lives. I should wear my whole black outfit, ride my bike over to where he lives and pop his tires, all of his tires, and paint rapist all over his car so people realize that it's him. Because another thing that's really wrong in this country is that people are taken care of more so when they have the money for the right lawyer, 909, the money to get out of jail. And police don't really do much to help women who get raped. They don't. That many of us, we don't go to the cops because we're like, what the fuck are y'all going to do? What are you really going to do? You know? Like that guy in UFC, there were so many things that was telling me to leave UFC. I'm telling you, the universe wanted me to leave UFC. Because I like got injured. I got sick. I was taken advantage by a guy who was abusing me. I want to say harassing me and telling me he was going to abuse me. And it got me so scared I didn't want to go to my job because he literally admitted to me he had bipolar even multipolar syndrome. And while he seemed nice at the time and was like taking me, giving me rides here once in a while, and he seemed like a cool trainer and martial artist, and a lot of people liked him at my gym, they didn't see the side that I saw of him when I saw how quickly he fell for me, and when I saw how jealous he was of me. Like, he literally one time trained me for, we're talking 10 seconds, and he didn't even train me. I gave the camera to the manager of Muscle Beach. I'm like, here, can you videotape us for a second? And all the guy did was do some pad work, tinka tan tan tun, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, and I did it, boom, bam, bam, tan tan tan. And he made it seem like he trained me and taught me all this stuff, that when he saw me training someone the next day, he messaged me, you can't teach a beginner black belt tricks that I taught you to. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? What? First of all, you just joined this gym. I've been training here. I've been working in New York, in Chicago, and Miami. You haven't done shit to train me, bro. I got hired to this job myself. Fuck out of here. And it's funny, too, because a lot of martial artists there would see me as like, oh, she's not a true martial artist because she's not a fighter. And it's like, maybe I don't want to be a fighter and I'm a lady. Why do y'all guys care that you're competing yourself with me, especially when clients chose me over you? Because they liked me. Who cares? And if they like you back, then they train with you next. Like, who cares? Right? That guy became so crazy with me that he literally chased me around the gym. I had to get cops involved, all this stuff. Like, and you know what's even crazier too? The fact that out of all the martial artists that were there, they weren't aware or realizing what the frick was going on. And I was going to all of them. I'm like, you guys, this is happening right now. Like, this person's, he scares me or whatever. And they were just like, oh, him? Yeah, I hear you. Like, they weren't paying attention. And you know who ended up paying attention? The freaking gay guy at the freaking club. And this is what I mean, is that I don't judge based on your sexuality, your religion, your race. No, I judge on how you are. The gay man acted more of a man than any of the martial artists at UFC. And if any of you guys ever watch this, you know exactly who you are. You're an amazing dude. I gotta let you know, you're an amazing dude. He's a hard worker. He's a good trainer. He used to be a doctor in his country. I think it was Venezuela, and he became a personal trainer. And he helped train me and do things. And I just thought he was such a good man that he literally awakened right away when this thing was happening to me, and he helped save me. He literally, because I let him know, I was like, this guy's literally chasing me around the gym. And then the other manager had to get involved to like block him. And then he also started crying, and so they felt sorry for him, but they didn't realize how crazy he was. And they had to look up the fact that he got kicked out from a UFC gym in fucking, ¿cómo se llama? In New Jersey, where the motherfucker was from. Meanwhile, this guy was trying to steal my client and abuse me, and like, it was just crazy. But what was crazier was the fact that y'all martial artists that work there, y'all didn't realize what the fuck happened. The gay guy who's not a martial artist got it and protected me and let me know, hey, I put your client up here. Oh, no. I just put you guys down here. Okay, blah, blah. He went to the cops with me. That man is that's a real fucking man. I don't care about his sexuality. Every adult can do what they want in their adulthood. I don't care. That's a man. All right? But that guy that did that, it took me time to forgive him too. And I do forgive him. I legit feel bad for the dude. I'm like, the guy is kind of crazy. He's crazy. He's loco. And I think the other part that was very helpful for them to realize 1414 at my job was that when I let them know, I'm like, you realize I helped him wipe his tears. Like, he literally cried, and he was trying to get over something that happened with a murder in his family and stuff like that. And again, here's another example. Oh, but someone got murdered in their family, so that means they're allowed to disrespect people and harass people? No, that's my point. You don't just go, oh, well, they're having problems. That happened one time in a kickboxing gym in New York, where this this girl was basically just trying to steal a sale from me, and I know what she was doing. I was like, I already know that I'm going to sell her, and because we're switching classes, I'm literally asking you to just teach the first 30 seconds to 2 minutes of class, and then I'm going to sell this, and we're going to do well as a team, and this is our location. What she wanted to do was get your ass on there because you have to teach, and I'm going to get that sale. I knew exactly what she was going to do. And she was so disrespectful to me, and she was telling me, go over there, girl, hurry up. Maji, you're supposed to be working, and all this shit and everything. And I was very calm and very kind and very polite. And I was just like, okay, can you please cover class for me? Because I really want to help, whatever her name was, Jessica, whatever. That's not her name, because she's going to be joining the family. So could you start the class? Thank you so much. After the class ended, and after my girl signed up, woohoo, with me, everyone left, and that same girl who was trying to yell at me about how I need to get back to teaching and all this shit, and basically tried to embarrass me in front of them, and was like, Marguerite, you need to get back to all this shit. And I'm just like, as soon as everyone left, I was like, hey, what you did was unacceptable, and I will never tolerate you doing that again. So make sure that was the last time you ever do that to me. And maybe I said it a little differently, but it was basically like that. All right. She cried and went to the manager and said like, oh, boo, 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 boo. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Marguerite stood up for herself. Bitch, you tried to take my sale. All right. And I don't tolerate that. And you know what ended up happening? I had to explain to the manager. I'm like, look, she disrespected me, and I don't tolerate that. And she disrespects a lot of people here. And she's like, yeah, but she's going through some stuff with her boyfriend. I'm like, excuse me. This is a job. You guys have no idea what I go through every week, every month, every year of my life. You have no idea. I don't bring my problems to my job. Neither can she. So I don't need to hear that bullshit. Because you know what? She's going through some stuff. I'm going through some stuff too. Okay? So respect the fact that I demand respect. Period. And you know what ended up happening? She started respecting everybody in the club that she would be harassing and being disrespectful to and be bossy to and be a bitch to, and because she was friends with the manager who was just like, oh, well, her boyfriend did it. But then once she started being nice and started realizing anytime I was around, if I had seen her, she knew that if I saw her disrespecting someone, I would have confronted her. Because, hello, I stood up for myself. You think I'm not going to stand up for this motherfucker? You ain't going to disrespect anybody while I'm here. All right? But again, I don't hate her. I feel sorry for her. I wish you the best. Hope you learned your lesson. I hope you're enjoying your life. I mean, I don't care. Like, I survive everything, and I choose love, and I choose happiness, no matter what. And like I said, whether it's breakup, rape, being fired, discriminated, being labeled, I forgive. And a lot of fucked up shit has happened to me. A lot of messed up shit. Of discrimination. Of harassment. Of control. But I don't go, oh, well, now I'm going to hate all Russian people just because the Russian manager in Macy's was the one who got me fired from my Nike job. My best paying Nike job. I'm not talking about the Nike sales job. I'm talking about like I was an ambassador for Nike. And they found me on like Indeed or something. Kind of like how UFC found me. Like people will find me sometimes for jobs. I'm not always just like, I need a new job. I need something new. Sometimes people are just like, you are the one for this. And it's like, yes, I am. In fact, those have been the two most paid jobs that I've had, right? But I kicked my ass to be able to get my work and money at UFC. I think I still got paid better as a paralegal in Chicago. Anyways, it doesn't matter. There's no excuses, no matter what color, no matter what race, all right? And I am not tolerating discrimination against anybody. Just because it's cool to talk shit about white people, guess what? That's you being racist. I don't tolerate it. I'm not for it. All right? Does that mean I'm going to tolerate something if I see something when it happens? No, I'm going to call them out. That's what I mean, is that so many people think it has to be like, you're either blue or you're red. You're either right or you're left. No, I'm not. I'm a starseed. I don't belong on this planet. I've known since I was 5, looking around like, holy shit, I used to live somewhere magical and beautiful. Where the fuck am I? And this is actually a pretty nice town. And that's what I thought. And we live in America. It's not like we live in some poor other place. But I just knew that I came from another place. And I do know that. I've said this to a few people too, because a few people have said, I'm so impressed that you've moved from here to here. I never thought you would do that. And I'm like, that's because y'all don't know me. When I'm done, I'm done. I don't even give an explanation. Sometimes your stuff will just be removed from the house, or I'll be removed. Sometimes I will just quit and you won't hear anything from me. Sometimes I will leave everything behind and go to another state. And guess what? I have faith. I had no idea, for example, that Airbnb was going to fall apart and I wasn't going to get paid for the money that I was getting. Basically just that money I finally was getting to be able to go to my new apartment, my new hotel, my new anything. That I actually had very little money. Had to go to a hostel that was actually a ghetto hostel where I was disrespected. Once again, this was my first night living in Miami. I was disrespected my first night living in Miami by like prostitutes and whores and ghetto ass bitches. And they put me into 2 rooms. And I cried after the first room. And then I went to the second room. And then I ended up grabbing my iPad, my cell phone, my wallet, my passport, and left everything there and went to the beach. And you know what ended up happening? Some guy that passed me by a lot, and of course he thought I was beautiful, right? And he did say that. He's like, you're very pretty. And he even said, also, you're too pretty to be here so late at night. And I'm just like, I can be here if I want to. And he's like, but it's dangerous. What are you doing here? And then I told him where I was staying. He basically says, well, just so you know, that's not the safe place. And I'm like, yeah, but I looked at the reviews. He's like, but they lied on the reviews. And I was like, wow. He also didn't get the jabba wabba, but he did wear the masky wasky. And he was such a wonderful man that I told him, I'm like, I'm just going to stay at the beach and figure out what's going to happen. I'm going to call my mom tomorrow and figure it out. I don't know. Like, I'm just going to stay at the beach tonight and not sleep because I'm not going to get attacked by men. I know I'm an attractive woman. And not only attractive women can be raped, anybody can. But since it's already happened to me, I kind of knew that it could possibly happen again. Didn't think it was going to happen again another time. But I realized I've learned that even though I still love my wine, I'm not going to, again, this is another thing too. I'm not going to stop drinking wine because I got raped. You know what I'm going to do? Not just trust a guy just because he's being nice to me and just because he's helping me out, because he still could take advantage. And that's what I'm talking about, is that you got to pick what's the right thing. Sure, I could quit alcohol. That's fine. But I love wine. I love wine. And I don't see it as like, that's why I got raped. No, those rapists are rapists. They took advantage of the fact that I was so tipsy and so drunk. And even one of them, when he was supposedly helping me and we had been seeing each other and I was injured from my back, but he thought that was a good idea, that when instead of taking the drug that the doctor told me to take, I drank so much wine because the pain hurt me so much and I wanted to relax. And he said he was going to help me. He got me food. He took me to the house. But then I woke up being raped. So I deserved that? Get the fuck out of here. So I'm an alcoholic because every time I've been raped, it's been with alcohol? No. Those men are rapists. And they're going to take their opportunity whenever they fucking can. If for them it's, I know they're drunk, so I'm just going to please them. And that way I can trick them into thinking this is what you wanted. And that's what they would always say. They're like, you wanted this. And I'm like, no, the fuck I didn't. I was sleeping. All 3 times I was sleeping and I was woken up to being raped. All right? Trust me. If I see any of y'all motherfuckers. But the thing is, you're pathetic. I feel 24/24 sorry for y'all guys. Y'all are so pathetic that you don't even know how to be a man where a woman desires you. You are so pathetic that you don't even know how to be a man enough where the woman says, I want you. You are so pathetic that you can't even be with a woman unless she's unconscious and alcoholized. You're pathetic. You're not a man. You're a rapist piece of shit. And I feel sorry for y'all. I don't feel sorry for me. I already feel bad that it happened to me. I don't feel sorry for me. I'm not going to do things differently for me except for to protect myself. If I want to enjoy what I want to enjoy, I'm going to enjoy it. But guess what? You're going to get your karma, son. You're going to get your karma. And maybe it'll be you getting raped in jail. Maybe. Anyhow, I think that was the end of the second part of the video. I'm going to call my mom now because she called me and interrupted the last video, but I want to talk to her. I love my mom. I love everybody. Whatever pain you've gone through, all right, whatever trauma you've experienced, 2552, whatever hurt and sadness and tragedy you have endured, do what you need, do what is necessary to improve and better yourself. Write in your journal, meditate, hug a tree, go swimming in water, take a bath, read a book, play music, dance. Most importantly, pray to God. God has helped me through so much. And you know, sometimes, kind of like now, I cry because I'm so thankful for having God finding a way to protect me even when I thought it wasn't going to happen. Even when the devil showed up, even when demonic shit happened, God still found a way. And so I urge y'all, take good care of yourself. All right? It may take time. It may take weeks. It may take months. It may take years to get over certain things. That has happened to me. And I've learned from the experience. For example, I know so much about what not to tolerate from men because of the experience that I've had. When I'm talking about the rape part, I'm talking about the not having good emotion, not being a good communicator, not being masculine. That's what I'm talking about. I've lived and endured that, living in towns where those are the guys that are there. That's also why I wanted to go to Florida, because I'm like, I need to be where there's manly men. And I'm not saying they're all in Miami. Miami is a little bit too touristy for me. I think I might want to go somewhere else in Florida. But be good to yourself. Take your time. But what I urge of you in your healing, in your understanding, in your forgiveness, what I urge of you is to not to start hating on other people who were from that country, who looked like him, who had that religion. Like, you can start hating other rapists, but again, that's not going to help you. You can start hating other abusers, but again, that's not going to help you hating them. Having that anger in you doesn't feel good. That's why also people 28 get cancer, because they're holding anger inside. They don't have a place to release it. Y'all, take kickboxing, yo. If you want to kickbox and you want to do a little one-on-one and do a video with me, hit me up, because I can teach you to kickbox. I can teach you to kickbox, and I will teach you correctly. I have helped and corrected many people, even martial artists, when they're not even kickboxing correctly, that you'll be able to tone up. You'll be able to use the energy you need. You'll be able to relieve your anger. But I suggest this too, and I've said this before. I like to make sure that my clients know, don't just take kickboxing as a way for getting over something. You still need to go to therapy. You still need to pray, write in your journal. You still need to let that pain out. Don't let it just be you punching and kicking the bag. Don't do that. That's not going to serve you. Because then the day that you miss kickboxing, all of a sudden you're mad and you get angry, you act crazy again. Don't do that. So be good and kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for your likes, comments, subscribes, dislikes. Hey, everyone has an opinion. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I just wish for us to do better as all of humanity. And that's that. Y'all have a great day. Besos. Ciao.